Hello and welcome back to our Lord of the Rings LCG solo progression series, and today's quest is the Nightmare version of the Druadan Forest, which was the second adventure pack in the Against the Shadow cycle. A quick reminder, in this series we're playing through each quest in chronological order of the game's initial release, and we'll only be using player cards that were available at the time of this quest's release. I'm calling this deck Slow to Rouse. This isn't quite an int deck. We're not there yet, but it's intish. We have all the ints available to us at this point in the progression. And so it's my first, I guess you could say, int deck. And Tolkien describes ints as being slow to rouse. And I feel like that's kind of descriptive of this deck. It's very slow to get going, especially because Druadan Forest denies us gaining resources altogether. So it takes a while to get going, but once it does kind of mature, it's a very dangerous deck, really powerful, and so it makes me think of ints. And anytime you can use Tolkien to name a deck, I guess that's a good thing. So the Druadan Forest Nightmare quest is a big time improvement on the original. The original is kind of boring. This one's really fun because of the fact that you don't gain resources and everything's trying to make you spend them and taking them away from you. It's just a real interesting quest that is a little bit of a nail biter. Like every time you play, every quest is going to be different. This is not one of those procedural ones like Fog on the Barrow Downs where it looks the same over and over again. So it's a fun, replayable quest in that way, I think. A couple of new cards are Booming Int from the Antlered Crown. This is a Tactics Int ally, cost 2, 0 willpower, 2 attack, 2 defense, 3 health. It cannot have restricted attachments, and it enters play exhausted like all ints. And Booming Int gets +1 attack for each damaged int character you control. So his picture kind of hints at this, but he's great in archery quests because you can just put the archery on int characters and he ends up attacking for quite a lot. Another really powerful card that we've yet to use is Feigned Voices. It's a 0-cost leadership event. It's basically Feint in the Sylvan archetype, but combat action, return a Sylvan ally you control to your hand to choose an enemy engaged with a player. That enemy cannot attack that player this phase, and so this in combination with 3 Galadhar Minstrels and Hinnemarth is hopefully going to help us to survive the first few rounds when some major combat could happen that we're not ready for. And the ints come into play exhausted, and so they don't really help us initially. We also have 3 errand riders just to help with chumping, just to get through the first few rounds. Lots of card draw and resource gain through glowing, Grima in a sense. Even Treebeard himself will give us resources, and then Steward of Gondor. Well, let's get to the quest and see how we do. All right, opening hand is good. It's not great, but I already have Sword That Was Broken, which is never bad. Having Treebeard is good because sometimes it's taken me as long as 6 rounds to get him out, and that hurts. So we'll just stick with this opening hand. I've got some card draw here with Mithrander's Advice. It's not half bad. Okay, here's the Nightmare setup card. And you always have to observe this first, so any setup instructions would precede the quest setup instructions. We're playing Nightmare mode. Heroes do not collect resources during the resource phase. This is the real difference between this and regular Druadan Forest. So each hero will get -1 resource, meaning they get none each round during the resource phase. It does say during setup, add resources to each hero's resource pool until each hero has 5 resources. Seems like a lot, but we will lose them quick, trust me. Now we search the encounter deck for 1 copy of Garden of Poisons and add it to the staging area. This is brilliant. So Garden of Poisons makes things even harder. Heroes cannot gain resources from card effects. And so I can't use Glowing's Response. I can't use Steward of Gondor. I can use Grima's action to reduce costs, but this is a problem, and so we'll have to deal with that as quickly as possible. To travel here, we have to pay a resource. It's true for just about everything. Everything costs resources. Really cool synergy with this quest. There is a force effect when we get to stage 2B. When it is revealed, each hero with fewer than 3 resources gains resources until it has 3. And so a lot of times that's a way to get some resources at a much needed juncture in the game. So the pursuit, 1A, says the leader of the underworld cabal from Minas Tirith has fled with his remaining henchmen. You have followed his trail to the Druadan forest, hoping to bring the nameless villain to justice. For setup, we search the encounter deck for Drewbury Drew and set him aside out of play. Here he is. He's an upgraded nightmare version of himself. He's tougher. Side B, we have to make 11 progress, and we'll most likely stay here for a while and kind of set up our board state before rushing stage 2. The Druadan Forest is a wild and dangerous place. It is said that Woz's reclusive forest dwellers still reside among the trees. You wonder if your quarry has considered the dangers of this course. When revealed, reveal 1 card from the encounter deck per player and add it to the staging area. Now, I do have 3 copies of Strider's Path in this deck, and it's not normal to have resources before the first resource phase, but if you had a location come out, you could always play. It's kind of fun when you get to a response. You can play during setup. You just can't play in action. So we won't be able to do that. If a location comes out, it's going to be out. Let's see what we get. And it is Druadan Stalker, Archery 3. I'm going to use time counters just to visually help me see what all archery is out there. So he has Archery 3, and this is kind of what the quest does to us. It makes us spend resources. He's going to stay up there in the trees just firing down at us. But as an additional cost to optionally engage Druadan Stalker, you could spend 2 resources, and he would then be engaged with us. But we will just hopefully get some ints out and take advantage of his, soaking that archery in a positive manner for us. Okay, resource phase, and it's good to see both attachments that we will need already in hand. Okay, now I have 3 copies of We Are Not Idle. It puts me over the minimum of 50, but that is good because a few reasons. First of all, if you do draw it, it can just replace itself as a cantrip. But later on, this is resource gain with glowing. That's helpful in a quest where you can't gain resources. Also, it makes Galadhrim Minstrel just a little bit more successful with a response. You know, if I have just those extra few events, she's more likely to grab something. If she grabs We Are Not Idle, well, there's a card we can draw, and it might be what we need. But we're not going to always save it for the resource gain, so let's just play it. Early on, we always want to. We're going to exhaust 0 dwarf heroes to add 0 resources to a hero's resource pool and draw a card. I'm going to use Grima's action to... Well, actually, I won't. I'll just play with Grima's resource, Mithrander's Device. Action, draw 1 card for each hero you control with a printed lore resource icon. That's 2 cards drawn. We'll play Deep Knowledge, Doom 2. Each player draws 2 cards. All right, it's great to see Sneak Attack along with Gandalf. This is just some good flexibility there. We need to get Treebeard out, but let's keep spending resources. Let's play Mithrander's Device to draw 2 cards. Okay, so we've got a good handful of cards here. Feeling good about that. I don't want to play Daron's Runes yet. Let's use Grima's action to give a card Doomed 1, and it's actually going to be. Let's play Sword That Was Broken. It costs 2 to do that because we reduce the cost, given it Doomed 1. We attach it to Aragorn. Now he has a leadership resource icon, and each character you control gets +1 willpower. All right. We want to play Treebeard, I think. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll do 4. We'll spin it from Glowing's resource pool. He enters play exhausted, and it tells us that he collects a resource each resource phase. This here says only heroes do not collect resources, so Treebeard gains a resource each round. I wish I had Hinamorph. I don't. I don't mind my threat going up because it just means I could engage optionally Druadan Stalker. I could quest with Gandalf and take him out, but I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I should do that. I've got sneak attack. Well, I can do it during combat or something if I need to. Let's draw cards maybe. Let's spend a resource from Glowing's pool to play sneak attack and draw 3 cards. That was during questing that we did that. And we'll quest with Gandalf and with Grima and with Glowing. Okay, we reveal Glade of Cleansing. Each woe's enemy gains 1 archery. Okay. And the threat value is X. X is equal to the total archery value of the highest woe's enemy in play. So the threat is going to be 4. We made 1 progress. Gandalf comes back to our hand at the end of questing. During the travel phase, we've got to travel to Garden of Poisons. Travel. Each player must pay 1 resource to travel here. I'm going to keep Aragorn loaded up. We'll travel here. And this is a lot of archery damage. I don't really want to put archery on my hero. So during this action window, let's just go ahead. I'm loath to do it, but let's play sneak attack and just destroy this guy with Gandalf. 4 damage on him. He's gone. Gandalf comes back to hand at the end of travel. This threat goes down to 0 because there's no woe's enemy with archery. That'll help us to also just make sure we clear Garden of Poison. So I think that was the way to go. Refresh next round. All right, we've got to play Hinemarth to know what's coming. He's crucial. We'll use his action. Okay, woe's Druadan Drummer is not scary at all. Let's spend 2 resources from Aragorn's pool to put out Steward of Gondor. We'll attach it to Aragorn. Remember, he has a leadership resource icon. I can't gain resources yet using Garden of Poisons, or with Garden of Poisons in play. I can't really do that yet. But we will use Grima's action to lower the cost of the next card we play from hand by 1. And it's going to be Wandering Ent. We spent Treebeard's resource because he can spend resources to pay for Ent cards. So we interplay Exhausted. And they're boosted, of course, by Sword That Was Broken. Actually, rather than Wandering Ent, let's do this. Let's do Booming Ent. All right, we just need to make sure we clear Garden of Poisons, and then it'd be good to attack back and destroy Druadan Drummer. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3 threat added. Okay, so here we go. And we reveal Druadan Drummer. Each woe's enemy in the staging area gets +2 threat. This says each woe's enemy gains archery 1. And the threat of Glade of Cleansing is boosted. It's the archery value of the highest archery woe's enemy in play. So the threat is 1. I made 3 progress and cleared Garden of Poisons. And now I can use Steward of Gondor to gain resources. I'll travel here. And I'm going to optionally engage Druadan Drummer. At the beginning of combat, she's going to do a point of damage with archery. And I'm going to put that on Booming Ent. And so that allows Booming Ent to be boosted by +1 attack. Because it says Booming Ent gets +1 attack for each damaged Ent character you control. Okay, so Druadan Drummer only attacks for 1. There is a card that can boost her for 2. We're fine if that happens because Glowing has 4 hit points. There's also one that says that she's boosted by +1 for, here's the shadow card, whatever it is, +1 for each hero without a resource. So that would be +2. So we're safe no matter what. In fact, I wouldn't mind a boost to her attack. Let's see what we get. Attack enemy gets +X. Attack X is that enemy's prowl value. There's no prowl value for Druadan Drummer. So just 1 undefended. We'll put it on Glowing, and in response, he gains a resource. because it says after glowing suffers damage, add 1 resource to his resource pool for each point of damage he just suffered. And now we'll attack and easily destroy Druadan Drummer. Maybe I won't. Do I want to keep her around and use her archery? It's just a little bit of extra threat. I can always deal with her later. Yeah, let's leave her around. I'll just use this archery to set myself up a little bit. Refresh. And next round. And Hintermoth reveals Garden of Poisons. Okay. So I think just to gain resources this round, let's go ahead and definitely use Steward of Gondor. I think I might play Steward's Path or Strider's Path and let this come through. And that just means that Glade of Cleansing gives us some more archery damage, which is nice. Let's use Grima's action to give a card Doom 1. It's going to be Treebeard spending a resource to put out Wandering Ent. It enters play exhausted. And we'll go ahead and spend 2 resources to play Warden of Healing, our first one. And we just want to quest for 4. Is all we need. There we go. So what we'll do, we reveal Garden of Poisons, but we're going to play in response when it's revealed Strider's Path, which just means that it just becomes the active location and Glade of Cleansing comes back to the staging area. This is not immune to player card effects. And so we made 5 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is cleared, and so we can gain resources. We will travel here. And Druadan Drummer is going to do a point of archery damage. We'll put that on Wandering Ent, meaning that this Booming Ent is boosted by +2. And we'll heal. We'll heal just this 1 damage. Now it says action exhaust Warden of Healing to heal 1 damage on up to 2 different characters, but you don't have to. You can just do 1. And so this just means we're safe once again. If she gets +2, we're fine. Attacking me gets +2. So 3 damage on glowing, and he gets resources for each damage. And again, I think I'm just going to let that archery damage keep helping me boost Booming Ent, I suppose. She's not really hurting me yet. So we'll just keep her in play. Refresh. Next round. Okay, a lot of Daeron's runes. Kind of annoying. We're a little static here, but that's fine. Okay, here's Druadan Thief. So I don't know what's coming. I might want to play Gandalf from hand, just to give us the most. We could get some card draw with him. Have I discarded the Gandalf? I have not. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to play Gandalf from hand. He draws 3 cards. Okay. We'll play Deep Knowledge, Doom 2, to draw 2 cards. We will play Daeron's Runes to draw 2 cards, and we'll discard Hintermoth River Song. We will... So I do want to save some resources in case this surges into a particular treachery that makes you discard resources to keep your what do you call it, attachments. So I need at least 2. Well, I probably wouldn't mind all 3 actually. So I'm going to use Grima's action, but I'd like to save all 3 resources just to be super careful. Let's put out a free Errand Rider. Okay. And now we just want to clear this, I suppose. I'm not too worried about clearing this this Glade of Cleansing. Okay, so Druadan Thief says it surges. Prowl 1, I have to discard this resource from Aragorn. And it surges into Druadan Elite. Prowl 1, so he's down to 1 resource. Prowl X, actually, X is the number of players in the game. So he has Archery 2, and we made 5 progress. So we cleared Glade of Cleansing, so no more Archery boost from anybody. We just have 2 Archery on this guy. Oh, wait, we didn't. I forgot about this lady here. Each woes enemy in the staging area gets +2 threat. Okay, so I only made 1 progress. And everybody here has an extra Archery because of Glade of Cleansing. Okay, so that's interesting. Didn't really think about how that was going to go down. I forgot about her boosting enemies. But here we go. We have 3 enemies engaging us. And we will stop this guy from attacking us altogether, I think. Well, let's do the archery damage first. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's go 1, 2. Well, hold on. Let's use Warden of Healing to heal Glowing. And also, let's say Booming End. And now we have 5 archery damage. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, gaining the resource on Glowing. And we will do 5 on Treebeard. That boosts Booming End to +3. Okay, so now we will defend a few attacks. I don't mind. Well, let's play this. Let's play Feigned Attack, Feigned Voices. Combat action. Return a Sylvan ally you control to your hand to choose an enemy and engage with a player. That enemy cannot attack the player at this phase. So we're going to draw. Oh, I thought I put out Galadhar Minstrel. I don't have. I have Tenomorph. We'll do that. That's fine. I just thought I had Galadhar Minstrel. So I canceled this guy's attack. He's not going to attack us at all. All right. And then Aragorn. I don't like to defend with Aragorn if I don't have to. Let's defend with Gandalf. 2 against 4. Yep. Return attacking enemy to the staging area after it attacks unless any player pays 1 resource. I'll just let him go back. So he attacks and goes back to staging. All right. And now she attacks for 1. And I'll just defend with Aaron Rider. If I chump with Aaron Rider, it's not the end of the world. So 1 attack against 0 defense, but 2 hit points. Discard all resources from the defending character's resource pool. No resources in her pool, just 1 attack, and Aaron Rider was able to defend that, or survive it. All right, so we want to see, this is 5. So here we go, 5 attack, destroys, whatever, we'll just do Treebeard destroys Druadan Drummer, which means that this threat is no longer there on Druadan Thief. And then Aragorn and Booming End attack for a total of 8. Isn't that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And destroy Druadan Elite. What was the shadow? Ooh, I like seeing Ancestral Clearing in the discard pile. All right, refresh. This was discarded also at the end of combat, this shadow card. Gandalf leaves play at the end of the round. We played him from hand next round. Okay, we need to play Hinemarth. So I'm going to use Grima's action to do that. Dune 1. We'll put Hinnamarth into play for free. Let's see what he is. Okay, Stonewayne Valley, not a problem. And then we'll just use Treebeard's resources to just put out another Booming Ent. It just cost 2 there. We had 2 resources. Interest play exhausted. We've got 3 damaged Ent characters. We'll go ahead and use Steward of Gondor. And we're going to play from hand Galadhrim Minstrel. And when she enters play, we'll look at the top 5 cards of our deck and grab an event, which we'll do Mithrander's of Ice. We'll go ahead and play Daron's Runes to draw 2 cards and discard a Steward of Gondor. And again, Daron's Runes, draw 2 cards and discard Steward of Gondor. All right. There's an action here where we'll exhaust Glowing to draw a card, and he gains a resource in the process. And I'll save this one for the future. We'll gain another resource on Glowing. I kind of like this giving us a little archery, so I think I'm going to maybe push this through to the active location and just keep using that archery just to spread around maybe. Put it on this Booming Ent. I don't know, I'm probably being dumb if I do that too much. Let's just quest here. And we reveal Stonewayne Valley. While Stonewayne Valley is in the staging area, of resources discarded or spent by the first player for any reason are placed on Stonewayne Valley. This can be a real problem if you can't get it into the active location slot, but do I want to play Strider's Path? I think I'd rather hang on to my resources. We'll just make the progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves play, so no more archery on Druadan Thief. We'll travel here. And so the effect does not apply because it's not in staging. Okay, Druadan Thief engages us. Let's heal Glowing and we'll heal Glowing. Excuse me. And who else? Can Treebeard be damaged if I don't heal him? 2 plus the most he could attack for is 5. So he'd be fine. We'll heal this Aaron Rider. Well, he wouldn't attack for 5. So Treebeard exhaust to defend. 2 against 3. Remove X progress tokens from the current quest where X is the attacking enemy's threat. Okay. And now we'll attack for 3, 4, 5. That's enough. Just the Booming Ent destroys him. All right. So we're in the driver's seat now for sure. Next round. Steward of Gondor. We are not idle to gain a resource on Glowing and draw a card. What's coming, Hinnamarth? What do your elf eyes see? Devil's Merc. Okay, let's use Grima's action, Doom 1. We will put out our 3rd Booming Ent. It enters play exhausted. And we will play Aaron Rider. And we'll also put out, I think, another Warden of Healing. And we'll draw a card with Mithrander's of Ice. 2 cards, actually. So I think we could just push on ahead probably now. Might as well. Nothing's coming that's going to be a problem, so we'll just quest. Let's heal up real quick before this comes out. So we exhausted 2 Wardens of Healing, so 1, 2, and 1, 2. So these guys are only attacking for +2 now. So everybody's healed, other than these Ents here. So 15 progress we made. So that's 9 on the current quest. So we cleared the pursuit. This leaves play. This is immune to player card effect, so you couldn't use Strider's Path on it. While it's in the staging area, characters cannot be healed. While it's the active location, each woes enemy gets +2 defense. Okay, an untimely end. As you move deeper into the forest, the wilderness quickly swallows all trace of civilization. Pushing through a dense patch of undergrowth, you come upon a dark and tangled grove. The scent of death strikes you. We have to make 17 progress. It does say here, after stage 2B is revealed, each hero with fewer than 3 resources gains resources until it has 3. So there we go, with 3 across the board. We already had 2 on glowing, but otherwise we gained all those resources. In the grove, the fleeing traders lie slain, pierced by poisoned arrows. As you search the pain-racked corpses for the body of their leader, the ominous echo of drums begins to sound among the trees. You desperately begin to retrace your steps from the woods, lest the fate of the traders becomes your own. So moving forward, archery damage can only be attached or assigned to allies at stage 2. We'll travel here. Refresh. And we haven't drawn our whole deck. We're sort of stagnant a little bit. Let's see what Hintermarth reveals. Stars in the sky. Okay. Let's use Grima's. Well, no, we'll just spend a resource from Galadhar Minstrel, or just pay for Galadhar Minstrel. Look at the top 5 cards. I need some card draw. And there's an event. No card draw. I think I played a bunch of sneak attacks early. Yeah, they had that combat situation. I guess that's usually Gandalf has drawn us some cards that he hasn't. And so that's why we still have 11 cards to go. But we've got, what allies are in the discard pile? So we only need 1 more Warden of Healing, 1 more Galadhar Minstrel, 1 more Errand Rider. But none of them are essential, so we're fine. Okay, we will quest. I just won't quest with heroes, because this says each questing hero must pay 1 resource. I'd rather not lose the resources, so I'll turtle here just a little bit. Let's just set things up. I just want to clear this. And I reveal Stars in the Sky, Prowl 2. I'll lose them from Aragorn. When revealed, each questing hero must pay 1 resource or it is removed from the quest. No questing heroes. We made 4 progress and cleared Devil's Murk. And didn't use Grima's action that round. Refresh. Next round. Let me see, are we okay? Yeah, 46, we're fine. Okay, Steward of Gondor, what's coming? Hintermarth. This is going to surge. We really don't know, but we're fine with whatever happens. I think I just want to keep turtling just a bit. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is going to just surge because there are no woes enemies. But you know, if you ever play the quest, you can just read that. Pauses. It's a bunch of text, but no enemies, so it's going to surge. Okay, Druadan Warrior Prowl 2. I'll remove the resource from Glowing and from Aragorn. Each hero with no resources in his resource pool cannot be declared as an attacker or defender against Druadan Forest or Warrior. We made 4 progress. No archery on this guy. He attacks for 5. So yeah, he could attack for 7. We'll just defend with Treebeard. And there's no shadow effect. So he attacks for 5. 2 damage on Treebeard. We'll heal Treebeard completely. And we'll heal this Wandering Ent for 1. Okay, so now we can attack for a lot. Right, no issue at all destroying him. Refresh. And next round. It's been a little, gosh, we have really slowed down on our card draw. Okay, I think we're just going to play Gandalf from hand. Let's see what's coming. Okay, we don't know, but we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, excuse me, 4, 5. We'll play Gandalf from hand and draw 3 cards. We'll use Grima's, actually we won't, we will. We'll use Grima's action, Doomed 1, to play for 1 cost a Wandering Int. Interest play exhausted. And I'm going to hang on to resources otherwise, I think. Just in case we have a surge train here. Okay, we revealed Poison Darts. Nothing happens. It surges. There's no enemies. And another Druadan warrior. We lost 2 resources to Prowl. 3 progress made. And we'll just defend with Gandalf. And he takes a point of damage, and we attack and destroy a Druadan warrior. Refresh. At the end of the round, he leaves play. Okay, we just need to advance. There's a bunch of cards here at the end that I wish that I had, but I don't need to optimize everything all the time. Okay, Druadan Elite. We're just about to advance here. We will use Grima's... Oh, I should have used Aragorn's refresh action during the refresh action window to lower my threat to 30, the starting threat. All right, now I'm going to use Grima's action to give a card Doom 1 and just pay 1 resource to play Warden of Healing. And we'll quest. Uh, 11 minus 2 is 9. That's what we need. Okay, we'll reveal Druadan Elite, which has Prowl 1. I'll lose a resource from Aragorn. And Archery 2. X is the number of players in the game, so Prowl 1. We made 9 progress, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we cleared an untimely end. We've gone to the final stage, the passage out. 3A, you sense that the edge of the forest must be near at hand, but Wozes are master huntsmen, and a band of them block your path. Your situation seems hopeless. There are simply too many of them. As they begin their attack, you realize your only hope of survival is to convince the Poogle men that you're are not their enemy. When revealed, add Drewbury Drew to the staging area. He has 1 engagement. He cannot take more than 1 damage each round. While Drewbury Drew is in play, other Woes enemies get +1 attack and defense, so that would be this guy. Unless Drewbury Drew is in the victory display, the players cannot win. How does he get there? Stage 3B says we're in siege questing. And moving forward, characters use their willpower instead of attack when attacking enemies. If an enemy would be damaged in this way, so direct damage wouldn't apply to this, but if an enemy would be damaged in this way, place progress tokens on it instead of damage. When an enemy has progress equal to its hit points, add it to the victory display and place those progress tokens on the quest. Now you can't over damage. It's equal to its hit points. Okay, so we have 2 enemies engaging us here. Well, yeah, we might as well just deal with them both. We'll option engage this guy. And here comes Drewbury Drew. We do have 2 archery damage. And what we'll do is put it on glowing and gain resources. We don't really need the attack boost anymore because attack isn't used to attack. So we'll use Booming Imp for siege questing moving forward. So we have an enemy attacking for 5. What we'll do here is actually play Feign Voices and draw Galadrim Minstrel back into our hand and cancel this attack from Drewbury Drew. And then Druadan Elite attacks for 4. And we will, I suppose once again, we'll wait on Feign Voices. We'll just let this guy attack. We'll defend with Treebeard. 4 against 3. Return attacking enemy to the staging area after it attacks unless any player pays 1 resource. I guess I'll do that. I'll pay the resource from Glowing. So he attacks for 4. That's 1 damage on Treebeard. Now I attack back with Willpower. So to destroy this guy, in a sense, it's not really destruction, but he's got +1 defense, so he's got a combined health and defense of 7. I need 7 willpower, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and Booming Ent. So that's 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. But I don't put damage on him. I put progress on him. I've convinced him that we're friends. And it tells me if an enemy would be damaged this way, place progress tokens on it instead of damage. When an enemy has progress equal to its hit points, add it to the victory display and place those progress tokens on the current quest. So he is going to go to the victory display. And the same thing with Drewbury Drew. I will attack. I just need to do just 5 really, so these 2 Wandering Ents attack for 6. That's 2 progress placed on Drewbury Drew, but it says he cannot take more than 1 damage. And so I did look this up. That applies. This is damage converted to progress, and so you can only have 1 progress a round. That's the spirit of this anyway. So it'll take 3 rounds to get rid of him. Just a minor annoyance. Okay. Refresh. Did I want to heal anybody? I suppose so. Just heal everybody. What's going on? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. So I healed everybody completely, I think. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can heal everybody completely. So no more boosted attack from the Booming Ents. All right. Won't be this round. It'll be the next that we win. Okay, Hinnemarth reveals Overgrown Trail. We will... Well, we'll do this. We'll just play a full-costed Galadrim Minstrel. She looks at the top 5 cards of our deck. And here is a Deep Knowledge. We'll grab it. We'll play it Doom 2, drawing 2 cards. We will use Grima's action to lower the cost of this Errand Rider to 0. And give it Doomed 1. And then I suppose we'll put out Galadrim Minstrel, full costed. We'll look at the top 5 cards, and it's a int. All right, let's just get all the progress we need here. Just go ahead and get rid of this. This is siege questing. We'll quest with the Booming Ents, I think. Why are they exhausted? I must not have moved on to the next round. I don't know why they're exhausted. I guess I won't worry about it too much, but I think I might. Did I advance after destroying? Let me see. During this round, did I destroy that enemy? Here's a refresh, a new round. I think maybe I used them during the refresh action window. They shouldn't be exhausted. Where's healing this round? Yeah, I must have exhausted them to heal during the refresh action window. So they should not be exhausted. And the reason why I care is because I can quest with them and make some good progress here, I think. Okay, we reveal Overgrown Trail. We made 11 progress. So we've made the necessary progress, but we can't win until Drewberry Drew is in the victory display. We'll travel here, and Aragorn will exhaust to put 3 progress on Overgrown Trail. Action, exhaust a ranger character to place 3 progress on Overgrown Trail. Okay, Drewberry Drew will attack for 5, but we'll just play Feign Voices and bring Hinnemarth back and cancel his attack. And we're going to be super convincing and put a progress on Drewberry Drew. And here's the final round. And our final card drawn. All right. And we will use Grima's action to give a card Dune 1. It's going to be the Wandering Ent. We spend a resource from Treebeard's Pool. We need to play Hinnemarth Riversong. We have our full complement of allies. What is coming? Okay, nothing much. Just this thing. But we'll sneak attack Gandalf into play if we need to. We don't need to really quest for much. Let's exhaust Aragorn to clear that, I guess. Well, let's wait. We'll quest for, that's right, we're in siege questing. Let's do this. That should be enough. We reveal Poison Darts. Surges, this is attached to Drewberry Drew. This gives him +2 attack and +2 archery. And it surges into Devil's Murk. All right, and when it's the active location, each woe's enemy gets +2 defense. But we made 3 progress. No reason to exhaust Aragorn. All right, so he's going to attack for 7. What we're going to do is go ahead and sneak attack Gandalf into play and lower our threat by 5. And we're going to defend with Gandalf. So he's attacking for 7 against Gandalf's 4 defense. Attacking him against +2, so he attacked for 9. And so that was enough to actually destroy Gandalf. He's destroyed. And now we once again parlay, and we convince Drewberry Drew that we're friends. And so he goes to the victory display because the progress is equal to his health. And this progress is transferred over here. And we have won. If the players defeat the stage, they've won the game. So there we go. That is the quest. There's a lot of times where things are a lot more tight. We got, the situation here was early on, we used sneak attack to just clear out enemies. Sometimes, though, you're waiting to draw Treebeard, you're waiting to get the instant to play and for them to wake up and help you. And so, you're using early on, possibly Feign Voices a lot. And so there's just a lot of considerations. It's a fun quest. Sorry, I got a little distracted there at the end. I hope I was clear as we played. But I, as always, really appreciate you joining me. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.